Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, in the last class, we have seen how land as a primary and fixed factor of production is unevenly distributed among the people of Palampur. And this holds true not just for our hypothetical village but is also true for India. We have seen the major problem in Palampur where one third of the total families are landless, majority of the farmers are small farmers, whereas a handful of the farmers have the majority of the land with them. Again, another major issue here is scattered plots. Now, the small farmers, they already have small plots which gets divided generation after generation. Father had two sons, the small plot becomes smaller. They have two sons each, so the plots become even smaller and so on. So the plot size goes on decreasing, and subsequently the marginal farmers and small farmers, they fail to meet the needs of their families. Now why I am discussing all this all over again? Because today we'll discuss labor, which is the second factor of production. Okay, for any production activity, this is the second factor which is required. So in Palampur's context, let's see who provides the labor. Now farming requires lot of hard work, right? In Palampur, who are going to be the farm laborers? What do you think? Yes, they are number one, they are landless people, the one third of the total families who do not have any land at all. And number two, the small farmers who have very small plots of land. So, who hires them? The medium and the large farmers, who account to only 60 out of 450 families here in Palampur. Okay. Now, these relatively much better off people hire the landless and small farmers who come and work in their fields. But do they take all the crops that is produced? No, they have no rights on the crops produced. So what do they get then? Because they are doing so much of hard work, they must be getting something. Well, they get either wages in terms of money, or which is on the basis of their duration of work, or it also might depend on the nature of work. Suppose they are hired only for sowing seeds, so they are paid differently, or maybe they are hired only for harvesting, then they are paid differently. So there is no standard payment applicable for these farm laborers. Okay. Now, although our government has decided a minimum wage which is around rupees 300 per day for these farm laborers, but is it effective everywhere? Of course not. Illegally, the better off people often employ the landless laborers by paying them much less than what they deserve. Okay, and why these landless poor laborers, but why they why this happened to them, why they agree to work in such conditions? Because there is so much competition, like in case of Palampur, the 150 landless Dalits and the 250 small farmers, they know that if they do not work for their job, they do not go for these jobs, somebody else will, and ultimately they and their family will have nothing to do. So it's like for them something is better than nothing. Okay, so they often agree to work in the farms of the medium and large farmers for a very minimum amount of money, and sometimes even for a mere meal or two, or maybe for some crops. Okay, sometimes they are paid in terms of money which is very less, or maybe in kind, that is maybe some crops or maybe some articles of their use, and even sometimes for a meal. Okay, they provide one or two meals and they make them do so much of hard work. Okay, so their situation is very much disturbing. So we know that in Palampur there are landless people who go and work in the farms of medium and large farmers, small farmers who work in their own farm or small plots along with their family members. So their need for labor is fulfilled by themselves. Whose? The small farmers. Their need for labor is fulfilled by themselves. Now medium and large farmers hire either of these two categories of people or both of these categories as required. That is the landless laborers and the small farmers. Okay, the medium and large farmers, they hire landless farmers or landless laborers and the small farmers depending on their requirement. Okay. So what is the situation of the farm laborers? The wages that they get is either in cash or in kind, which is often less, very less than the government decided minimum wage. Okay. Now the wages vary widely from region to region, from crops to crops, from activity to activity. Okay. Then this mechanization also adds to their grievances. Okay. After the introduction of modern farming methods, after the introduction of these modern farming methods that they are using, there is tractor for plowing, there is harvester for harvesting, thresher for threshing. So there is no year-round requirement of labor anymore. These landless and small farmers only get seasonal work. So duration of employment also vary. So ultimately, when they fail to feed their families, they either look for other work elsewhere. Okay. Now, like in your book, you have a story of Dala and Ramkali, who are also land laborers, and they are discussing their hardship here. Just go through that properly. Okay. So this is how their situation is very harsh and very disheartening. Okay. Now this is not only the case of Palampur, but it happens in many states of India, and this forces the poor people to migrate to other bigger cities in search of small work, where they go and work as maybe construction workers or in some small factories, etc. Okay, so their poverty, their hardship forces them to migrate, to leave their native place, although they never want to do that, right? So these are some of the difficulties faced by the farm laborers, because there is much, but there is much more to it. Okay, we have discussed only a few aspects. There are much more to it. They go through a lot. We'll see some more aspects in the next session while discussing the capital need for farming. So that's all for today. So leave your comment or suggestions in the comment section. See you in my next class. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Bye-bye.